Mwahaha! With a weapon this awesome, I will rule the Decepticons. Hey, that's where my hairbrush went. Oh, welcome back, folks. We're going to take a look this time at this guy. It is one of the early Transformers Classics Triple Changer. This is the Transformer known as Tankor? Stick around and we'll give this guy a look in the latest GotBot True Review. Okay, folks, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, I'm going to ask you to check me out everywhere, and yeah, check me out everywhere. There you go. So we're going to move on right away, and we're going to have a look at this guy. It is the deluxe version of Tankor. Okay, it's actually Octane, but he was named Tankor in his Classics release. And that's what we got. But I think we all know that it is by rights Octane. And I recently had my birthday. And among a couple of other things that I still have coming down the pike, Starscream Girlfriend managed to score this guy for me. In terms of my Decepticon triple changers, he is the only one that I did not have. I have Astro Train, though he may go replaced sooner than later. Blitzwing. I love that generation's Blitzwing. I'll get to him another day. And now I'm glad to have this guy. So, we're going to look at him as we always do. And this time I'm actually going to start off with the weapon. This looks like a hair comb. I don't know what it's supposed to be. It's some parts forming and they tried to make a weapon out of it. And I don't think it really worked very well. And you close it up. And I guess it could be a shield of some sort when it's closed up. You know, you can stick this little piece here in his hand and I don't know, is it a blaster? I don't know. I don't use it as a weapon really. I don't like that, Paint apps for this guy. We're going to look at them first and we're going to look at posability, playability, and of course in the end we're going to look at transformation. So, paint apps for this guy. See, not a major character, though he was in the third season of the, old show, but not a major character. I always thought he was okay. He was close with Sandstorm. For this review, I really should have got that Sandstorm, that Generation Sandstorm mold to compare him to. Well, what are you going to do? But I think it's okay. I mean, I look at it and I generally think, yeah, it's Octane. The shoulders are obviously way too big. I feel like, I'm trying to remember from the animation model, if these colors on the outside the wings, if they were inside, and of course he didn't have propellers. But generally, yeah, he has the wings on back. I kind of dig the head sculpt. It's weird though. This is set up for light piping, yet his eyes are painted over. Doesn't look bad. It looks pretty good. I don't know if it really looks like Octane. I feel like his face is a little too round, I guess. But overall, paint apps for this guy, I'll give him a 7. He looks pretty good in all modes, although it would have helped if this thing was painted. There have been subsequent versions of this guy that have come out since that I think are a little bit more accurate, but you know what? Yeah, a 7. Posability, playability, well, the hips go all the way out. He can do that for days. The knees, you get almost a 90 degree. There is I guess you get, well, no, not quite. You get almost a 90 degree. There's a thigh swivel. The toes can do, I don't know, they can do that. The toes can do that. Kind of really peculiar feet on this guy. Interesting transformation, just peculiar feet. The head, goes left and right, doesn't really look up and down, no waist swivel. The arms are on a ball joint here, so you get a bicep because of that bicep rotation. You get a very nice deep elbow bend. The wrists swivel, but the hands don't really look very good, to be perfectly honest with you. And the shoulders, you know, that's about as far out as you're getting with the shoulders. Nothing great. Posability, playability, probably about a 7. Although he makes a pretty great plane, and his truck mode does roll like a champion. But yeah, about a 7. So far this guy's scoring a 7. He's not stellar. I'm glad to have him. But he's certainly not the best figure that ever came out. I love the purple, by the way. I love the shade that was used. So yeah, paint apps, overall, you're looking at about a 7. Some might even say a 6 because of this thing being unpainted, and it does serve a couple of purposes. Posability, playability, about a 7. He's not perfect. Does he stand? Yeah, he stands. He stands all right. Nothing wrong there. You're not going to get the most dynamic of poses with him, but he stands all right. So we're going to go into transformation for this guy and see how that goes. Obviously, he has 2 modes. We will go to... How will we do this? Let's go to truck first, maybe, and then we'll go to plane. Let's try that. So we put the toes down. That's easy. And you push the legs up and you peg them together. There's pegs and holes in right here, and you peg it all together, really just like this. There are guns as well. I should have pointed this out. There are guns here. They can go together like a double target master type of thing. They're on the sides of his legs, but you can turn them up. Instead of having them go up the side of his leg, like, that's my cat. Instead of having them go up the side of his leg like this, you can have them turn up on the sides like this. I guess they're supposed to mimic smokestacks or something. Yeah, okay. We'll go with smokestacks. Then you want to bend in the chest, because when you bend in the chest, it lets you push the head all the way down, just like that, and then you can actually open the chest out again there now. The wings, they move in unison, so when you move one, you move the other, and they fold up. They should fold up in underneath the front, and why they're not there now, I don't know. There we go. I just had to take his legs apart to fit them in there. So the wings go right up and underneath. The propellers are here on the bottom, and you can see how this is coming together as a truck, can't you? Can't you? You can see how that's... Sure, you can see how that's coming together as a truck. I see how it's coming together as a truck. Okay, so next part. We need to get his arms basically out behind him. And how do we go about doing that? Well, let's deal with how we need to situate the arms first. We bring the arm up. We turn the hand so that it's oriented like this, so that everything kind of runs together smoothly, and we fit that in. It looks like the front of a plane. What a shock. Same thing here. We orient the hand so that it looks like this. Everything is lined up nicely. We bring it up, and we should be able to just peg it in there like that. We have another part of a plane. Again, what a shock. Now, here's where things get interesting. There is a blue hinge in here. That blue hinge actually needs to... Okay, see if I can do this. Bring both arms out. Here's probably the easiest way to do it. And you're going to see that you have, what looks like a truck with a handle. But you see these blue hinges right here. These blue hinges need to actually flip up. And they do it in a very interesting manner. It's kind of intuitive how they come up, but I guess it's at a 45-degree angle, I guess, I suppose. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it goes from here and flips up to here. It's really, really weird, but it works. And then that one comes around. And, you know, you largely have the truck here now, you know, boom. But that's where this thing comes into play. If you don't want to just have your truck hanging out like this, because that's kind of that's a hard looking truck. You know, it's kind of a stretch. Here's what you can do. You have a tab up here and a tab up here, and you have a hole here and a hole over here. You can take this piece and tab it on over there and tab it there and tab it there, and boom, here you go. There is your tanker truck mode. It's not a perfect truck, but it does roll great. I like it. And, you know, it's kind of imposing. This, you know, obviously the cab isn't able to swivel, you know, like with Leader Ultra Magnus. So there's this truck mode. Not a hard transformation to get into once you know how to deal with these arms. So we'll take this off again and we will put him in his last mode, which is his plane mode, which I think is probably his best mode. How do we put him in his plane mode from here? Well, that's what hopefully you're going to see right now. And how do we start this? Okay. Okay. Split his legs and flip up his feet. Do that first. Flip down these wing pieces. You can see the inner parts of a plane right here. Flip out his wings and turn the legs around. You know, the truck was outside and now the truck is going to be inside. Oh, you want to take off these guns as well. And when you flip the legs around, you can once again peg them together and peg all of that together. And now we have the back of a plane. You take the entire body mass here and you straighten it out. You bring the wing pieces back and you open them up. I mean, you can see where this is going, right? And now remember that same hinge that we flipped back in order to make these things part of the truck? You know, we had the wings up and we had the body flip and we flipped these back. Well, now you turn the body the other way, you flip the wings out, and now again on this hinge you have to flip those arms right back up and flip this arm right back up. And now all of that can also just peg together. And we get this chest piece that was closed up so it would fit down here when we flip the body down. Open that out now. That's your best thing to do. And of course you still have tires here and tires here, and he still rolls like a champion. And you might say, well, what do you do with all of this junk? Pretty simple. You put the guns under the wings for storage like that. And I think he's a nice kind of carrier plane, I guess. I'm not really sure. He's not a passenger plane, I don't think. And what do you do lastly with this piece? Well, you see right here, there's a spot here and a spot here. This piece goes in between both of those. And I think I just did this backwards. Or did I? Yeah, I think I did. And in the end, boom, there's the bottom of the plane. I don't really think you need it, but okay, it's fine if you want it. It still has tires. I mean, there are tires on it down here, 2 here and 1 up here, so it still rolls fine, whether you have it there or not. I think the plane is his strongest mode. The truck is a stretch, and robot is okay. Transformation for this guy is pretty easy. Once you know that the body turns up this way for truck, back this way for plane, and I believe robot, and that the arms have that funny movement. Once you know that, this guy's not that hard to transform. I give his transformation 8.5. So a 7, an 8.5. Overall, this guy is about a 7.5. He's about a 7.5. He's not stellar. He's not going to be your favorite figure, but you know what? In order to have those triple changers completed, hey, you're going to want them. Now, I forgot to show this guy against a modern day deluxe, just so you can see how, you know, big he really is. So I'm going to take a second now and put him right back in his robot mode, without really looking at the steps to do it. Getting those feet out, that's your biggest challenge, really. I'm going to put him in robot mode and just compare him with a modern day deluxe, because I forgot to do that in the beginning. And that, you know, that was all on me, folks. That was all on me. Turn those legs, turn that leg, split those shoulders. And besides, there is one thing I wanted to show you here when it comes to transformation. Turn those shoulders out. Take that chest piece in, push the head up, open the chest piece out, split the wings like this. Now we're back to the arms. The rest of this guy's pretty easy. I mean, you open up his feet, you turn his legs around, you push up his head, you split his wings. But his arms, you unpeg him, and you unpeg them, and a lot of people just sort of leave them like this, but that's not really what you're supposed to do, and this is actually a little bit worrisome. That blue piece in there, the idea is that you're supposed to actually angle down a joint way up in here and bring his shoulder down on the side. See the difference in the two shoulders? This one is down, this one is up. You bring it in, there's a hinge in right here. You're supposed to bring it all the way down. I feel like if you do that too much, you're eventually going to get stress marks. I haven't got them yet, but I'm sort of expecting them. I'm sort of expecting them. So there he is. Huge shoulders. That's his big drawback. Huge, enormous shoulders. Boom. Here he is next to fellow Decepticon Off-Road. You know, he's about the same size, actually. He's about the same size, head to head. Is this guy a great figure to get? He's all right. Don't overpay for him. Don't overpay for him. He's, you know, he's average at best. He's average. If the shoulders were handled better, I think he could have been a better figure. Anyway, it's been a little while since I've done a review of a figure, and I'm glad to have brought this one to you, especially where it was a birthday gift. He certainly has a special place for me, both because Starscream Girlfriend gave him to me, and because I simply like to have all of the triple changers. Would I be in for an updated version of this guy? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if he's major enough for me to want an updated version of him, or if this is good enough. Anyway, that's it. We're going to call it... we're going to call it done for this one, I think. Right? That's what we're doing? Yeah, we're going to call it done for this one. There's Tankor, Octane, and I thank you for dropping by. He thanks you for dropping by for a visit, and I will see you right here the next time that we have a visit inside the videos. Thanks for watching.